welcome to HITC Sport, and thank you for the 500,000 subscribers. You absolute legends, we did it! For everyone who has ever smashed that red button in the teeth, oh, make no mistake about it, you are an absolute hero. So let's try and get the next milestone, 600,000. Such a ridiculous number. So if you're new and you want to see more content like this, then smash that red button and join in. But anyway, moving on to today's video, the Championship is single-handedly the most difficult league on the planet to predict. So chuck my regular prediction skills into that utter omelette of chaos, and oh good Christ, what's this table gonna look like? Right, let's go. 24th, Derby County. Derby County are a complete and utter mess. This is a club who should kiss the feet of the FA that they're not drowning in League One. This club is the next Bolton Wanderers. Right now, you've got a manager sleeping in his office. Good Christ, Wayne Rooney's probably spent the pre-season drinking coffee out of a bin. If I was a Derby fan and saw a journeyman like Ravel Morrison make Derby the 12th club of his career, taking a seat next to another travel agent like Colin Casson-Richards, oh, honestly, I'd feel a discomfort in my bowels. Rooney will be gone by Christmas, and you'll desperately bring back someone like Paul Clement and lose nearly every goddamn match. Good Christ, your second last game was a trip to Blackpool. You just know Richard Keogh is going to spend the game laughing like a hyena on speed. 23rd, Peterborough. Every year there's always one newly promoted Championship team who doesn't stand a monkey's armpit of a chance of staying up. Yeah, good old Peterborough, managed by Fergie's son, a guy who's already walked out of them twice before. This is a man whose tactics were regularly chewed into wet Weetabix when he was on the Championship before, and their squad, I'm sorry, any Championship team relying on the likes of Mark Beavers in the centre of their defence. Oh yeah, he sounds like a true footballing warrior. Mark Beavers sounds like something out of Sesame Street. Peterborough are doomed, yes, but one to watch out for is well, you know the Celtic wonder kid Karamoka Dembele? Yeah, his brother Siriki Dembele is a lightning quick goal machine from the wing. He's also related to the Toure brothers. So yes, the rest of his teammates might spend the season playing like cottage pie, but next summer Dembele is going to be a £20 million signing for West Ham and be making his senior debut for Scotland. Imagine some 50-year-old beer-bellied mechanic from Glasgow watching Siriki Dembele make his debut for his country. He'd be so confused he'd think he'd gone temporarily blind. But yeah, just you wait and watch. 22nd, Stoke. This is a season where the aura around Michael O'Neill's Northern Ireland accomplishments quickly melt into wet sausage. We've seen this before with Laurie Sanchez at Fulham. He guided Northern Ireland to wins over England and Spain, but while at Fulham, he and David Healy were about as much use as kettles made of butter. Stoke's form this Christmas has been revolting. 7 wins from 27 games. Everyone is losing their mind to the summer signing of Sam Surridge from Bournemouth, a striker who scored a mind-blowing 4 Championship goals in each of his last 2 seasons. So here's my challenge, Sam. If you manage to score just 10 Championship goals this year, then I will happily lick yogurt off a toilet seat. Your defensive 5-3-2 formation is not ambitious, it's waving the white flag. Nick Powell's not going to repeat his goal scoring form from last season. You'll have Gary Monk in the dugout after Christmas, and yeah, League One beckons. 21st, Huddersfield. Yeah, this is going to be close because Huddersfield can't defend. They conceded 71 goals last season. They conceded 7 in one match. The top 6 mostly used them as an overbloated chew toy. Carlos Corbrand cannot manage a defence to save his life. It'll be a tough slog. They'll concede another 70 goals and stay up by the width of a camel's eyebrow. Trust me lads, remember this comment. They are going to concede 8 goals in one match this season. Just you wait and see. I'm gonna look like an utter genius. 20th, Bristol City. Nigel Pearson is a man who doesn't do half measures. This is a guy who either does really well in a job or flatlines like a chunk of roadkill. This is a man who either wins the Championship or he gets suspended by Derby County after less than a month in the job. He was sacked in Belgium and then ended Liverpool's unbeaten run with Watford. Even in his only game managing Newcastle, he lost the match 6-0. Honestly, if this guy had a normal 9-to-5 job in Costa Coffee, he'd either serve a latte so tasty he'd have the attention of Egyptian princes, or he'd burn down the shop. At Bristol City, well, he ended last season with no wins and 7 defeats in his last 10 games in charge. His players have clearly stopped believing in him. He'll be gone by November with Bristol City stuffed in the relegation zone, and so someone like Aider Karanka will have to drag them to safety. 19th, Preston. Preston are done. I know they ended last season with 4 straight wins, but that's only because the players were so relieved they didn't have the tedious Alex O'Neill shouting in their face. Honestly, listening to his moaning team talks every week, I mean, what a letdown. It'd be like an excitable kid who wants to sit on Santa's lap at Tesco, only to realise he stinks of whiskey and just try to lick your granny on the cheek. Preston's manager now is Frankie McAvoy, who's never managed a football team in his life. How inspiring. A guy with the CV of groundskeeper Willie. I just have a feeling we're about to witness another pudding season from Preston. 18th Blackburn. Let's be honest, Blackburn haven't done much since promotion from League One in 2018. This is a club who've won the Premier League before, but their last 4 seasons of the Championship have been 15th, 15th, 11th, and guess what, 15th. This season brings up a decade of them rotting outside the Premier League, with the Venkies still in charge. You know, the guys once promised to sign Ronaldinho and qualify for the Champions League. Is this some sort of sick joke? How are they allowed to just continue at this club? And we're all supposed to just sit back and let this happen. The FA, I'm looking at you. This is like the British police being given a live feed of a hungry family of 6 being held captive in some maniac's basement. And instead of doing anything about it, they just whack out the popcorn and have a bet on which is the first family member to start eating their own foot. The easier prediction would be 15th, right? But no, considering you just sold an almost 30 goal a season monster like Adam Armstrong and replaced him with who? Daniel Butterworth? Sounds like someone who belongs in Hufflepuff. But Ben Brereton is an interesting one. He's a 22-year-old coming-of-age striker who just made his Chile debut and scored in the Copa America. This guy who just made his debut against Messi, despite being born in Stoke. I'm expecting Blackburn to look dead and buried in the relegation zone by March before he explodes into life to keep them up. He'll end the season with 15 goals and get himself a big money move to Leeds next summer. Just you watch, Ben Brereton is going to be a star. 17th Blackpool. I love Blackpool. I don't care. Purely for that incredibly brave Premier League season when they went out with a wage bill probably on par with KFC and tried to win every goddamn match. Utter legends. And nothing would make me happier than to see them do well this season. And I think they will. I don't care that it's League One. Momentum carries a team far, like Coventry last season. Neil Critchley helped Blackpool win 15 of the last 25 games in the 3rd tier, losing just 3 times. I believe in Blackpool. They're staying up without a shadow of a doubt. 16th Luton Town. Luton Town are here to stay. Everyone tipped them for instant relegation in 2019. It did not happen, did it? The reappointment of Nathan Jones could have been awkward. A bit like taking back that ex-wife who oven cooked your cat. But to be fair, he's doing a damn good job. Yes, losing James Collins up front is a blow. And I know everyone probably thinks that Cameron Jerome is a 34-year-old chunk of tinfoil who utterly failed in Turkey. But he did rebuild his confidence with MK Dons in League One. And yeah, I'm expecting a 15 goal season from Jerome in the Championship. I know what you're thinking. Did I spend this morning stuffing chunks of toast up my nose? But lads, just you wait and see. Comfortable survival. 15th Coventry. And Coventry are the new Luton. No second season syndrome for Mark Robbins' boys. They finished 16th last season. They haven't lost any of their first team squads. They'll sneak up a place into 15th. 14th Swansea. Swansea are sneezing down the neck of promotion, right? A playoff semi-final defeat in 2020 and a playoff final defeat last season. So surely the next step is promotion, right? Well, maybe if they convince Steve Cooper to stay, but he's gone. And in his place is Russell Martin. You know, the former Norwich right back. A guy who just led MK Dons to 13th in League One. Hands up! What Swansea fan is happy with resting your promotion hopes in the hands of a 34-year-old Russell Martin? Not only that, but your talisman on the pitch has just ditched you to go and chase a bunch of cash and guitar. Although, to be honest, that actually makes more sense for Andre Ayew to do that than to spend the 5th season of his life living in Gavin and Stacey country. I mean, him back at Swansea, it never really fit. Also, Mark Guehi and Freddie Woodman are also gone. Yeah, it's going to be an utter Welsh collapse. 13th Barnsley. Yeah, Barnsley came close to pulling off the miracle last season and going up. It would have been utterly ridiculous, but it's not gonna happen again. And Christ above, if Barnsley do get promoted this season, I promise you, I will go outside now and walk to Barnsley. What's that, about 27 hours by foot? Pretty sure my ankles would fall off my legs. 12th Reading. Last season, after being top at Halloween, Reading crumbled like soggy biscuits and finished in 7th. I'm sorry, I know that was their highest finish since the days of Jaap Stam in 2017, but no, considering the start, that was not a good season. They won 1 of the last 11 games. This is a team in a mouldy slump. Yes, Ove Ejaria and Tom Delibashiru, they're exciting young midfielders, but no. I'm predicting another depressing season for the Royals, with Alan Pardew, yes, Pards, reappointed back at his former club after Christmas. 11th Middlesbrough. Neil Warnock needs to retire. And retire properly this time. I thought he'd do a Cardiff-esque job at Middlesbrough and somehow drag them kicking and screaming into the Premier League last season, but no, it was a complete and utter shambles. They were 6th in the league at Christmas, looked odds on for the playoffs, and then utterly bottled it, with Warnock finally retiring next summer. Well, for about 7 weeks until he remembers that he hates his wife. 10th Millwall. Okay, imagine predicting Millwall to get relegated. It's a surefire way to get a bunch of London hotheads wanting to fill your mouth with broken glass. Don't worry lads, I'm not gonna do that, okay? Please Please don't set fire to my wooden shack. I think it'll be another mid-table season under Gary Rowett. A man who has successfully managed to tame the Night of the Living Dead fanbase sitting behind him in the stands. A bunch of football fans who probably prepare for matches by biting the heads off baby kittens. Listen, you'll be absolutely fine. 10th in the league. 9th Nottingham Forest. I know Nottingham Forest finished 17th last season, but I'm sorry. Chris Hughton is a good manager. You can't just overlook his achievements. Good grace, he had Birmingham playing European football. He finished 11th in the Premier League with Norwich and nearly won the championship with Brighton. He's a good manager. It's a half-decent squad filled with experienced heads. Why not a solid 9th? 8th Sheffield United. This is not going to be a good season for Sheffield United. Listen, Slavy Stojanovic is a decent coach. Ish. I mean, do you remember when the media was tipping Chelsea to replace Antonio Conte with him 3 years ago? I mean, I bet those journalists now feel like a bunch of walking potato heads. I know Sheffield United have largely kept the core of the squad which finished 9th in the Premier League, so this probably looks ridiculous. And Jukanovic, he's a man who's achieved promotion with 2 different clubs. So what kind of deformed mutant am I? Predict them to finish 8th in the Championship? Good grace, the likes of Ryan Brewster and Ollie McBurney were Swansea City goal machines at this level, right? But I just have a feeling they'll have a Premier League hangover with their confidence turned into spaghetti. I mean, perfect example, Ryan Brewster. Yes, one on one at Swansea. He was a bright, confident, hungry Liverpool wonder kid who sniffed out goals, but now he's carrying the weight of a £20 million flop price tag. And I guarantee you, he's 21. Of course his confidence is probably going to be sliding down a toilet wall. I hope he succeeds, but honestly, if he scores 20 goals this season in the Championship, then Liverpool fans, I promise you, I'll drink a pint of sour milk. 7th QPR. Okay, so QPR fans are losing their minds after thumping Manchester United in pre-season. They finished 9th last season. They'll have another decent campaign under Mark Warburton, but promotion? No, not a chance. 6th, Birmingham. Birmingham City fans need something to cheer them up. Their existence in the Championship, it just seems so very pointless. For years, 19th, 17th, 20th and 18th, they've been having identical seasons for half a decade. So me predicting them to wind up 6th and getting voted back to the Premier League after an 11-year absence? You probably think I've smacked my head in the shower. Listen, I think Lee Boyer, after his intense troubles at the insane club that was Charlton Athletic, I think he's going to prove what a good manager he is. We're about to see an utter tactical masterclass. Likes of Tahiti Chong will catch fire and Joe Bellingham will make his Championship debut. I don't care what you're saying. I know he was born in 2005, but clearly the Bellinghams are genetic mutants. I guarantee you this kid is the future £50 million England international. Give it 18 months and we're going to see both Bellinghams going head to head in midfield in the Premier League. Just you wait and see. 5th, Cardiff. Yeah, Mick McCarthy is going to grind Cardiff into the playoffs. Yes, he's an old school manager who many people probably think is a dinosaur, but I'm sorry, I think he's proven he was the glue which kept Ipswich Town together. Now they're resting their hopes on Ed Sheeran. James Collins is a good addition up front. Yeah, 5th in the league and a playoff semi-final defeat to Bournemouth. 4th, Bournemouth. Bournemouth are surely favourites for promotion, right? Scott Parker is the Championship's golden boy. This is a guy who was able to get relegated at Fulham and still have the media tipping him to replace Jose Mourinho at Spurs. Why? Because he used to be the England captain, has a nice haircut and is mates with Jamie Redknapp? I guarantee you, if he was French and had the face of a garden gnome, you'd all be demanding he be removed from the sport. This is the season where the myth of Scott Parker is exposed. He's got a good Bournemouth squad which should be winning the league, but no, they'll cough and splutter their way to 4th before losing the final to the unfashionable rabbit hyena that is Lee Boyer. 3rd, West Brom. Valerian Ismail is a good manager, but I just smell failure at West Brom this season. If they'd convinced Sam Allardyce to stick around, I mean, he had the squad playing for him, and they'd have torn the Championship to shreds. But Ismail, they'll be in the automatic race up until the last day when they'll forfeit 2nd by losing at home to Barnsley, and they'll be so demoralised they'll play like their brain is filled with scrambled eggs and get thumped by Birmingham in the playoff semi-finals. 2nd, Hull City. This is mental. I know it is. Hull City, a team who lost a game in the Championship 8-0 in 2020. Predicted them to finish 2nd? Don't get me wrong, I realise how ridiculous this sounds. This is bizarre, but don't underestimate a winning run. They utterly blitzed League One to smithereens, and look what that did for Sheffield United. I have a feeling we're looking at the next Chris Wilder story, or Norwich City under Paul Lambert. Back-to-back promotions. I just have a feeling we're about to witness one of the greatest underdog stories ever seen in the Championship. Honestly, Norwich City did this before, so this isn't unheard of. And for Grant McCann to have somehow kept his job after being 7-0 down at halftime to Wigan, you might think that's insane, but Norwich began League One with a 7-1 defeat to Colchester, and within 18 months they were in the Premier League. Honestly, this is going to be one of the most fairy tale, incredible managerial stories ever seen in British sport. First, Fulham. Don't get me wrong, I think over the last 5 years, Marco Silva was at one point probably the most undeservedly overrated manager in the world. But he'll still get Fulham up. But yeah, look at their squad. Alexander Mitrovic might be an overloaded post box in the top flight, but he's a 20-goal machine superstar in the Championship. Harry Wilson's a smart signing for £12 million. They'll have too much for this division, lads. They're going to utterly run away with this. I'm predicting 100 points. And with that said, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Have I got this all wrong? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.